a road trip podcast searching for the Swedish heritage in the United States. Today I've parked the Volvo at a ranch north of Dallas, and in the Airstream with me is Fredrik Thomsson, or Fred Thomsson, or Mr. International, or the Swedish Cowboy. What name?
Well, there's a lot of names.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I think it's really cool what you're doing, and glad to be here. Glad that you came out to visit us here at the ranch. So.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. So you can't
awesome.
imagine.
Awesome. I guess there's been many names, but call me fortunate. Fred's fortunate, you know.
All right.
Yes.
What's the Mr. International thing that I've heard?
Well, I don't know. We did a lot of international business. I came to America from Sweden and set up shop here. Got trained reining horses here in America and lived all my adult life here and basically do a lot of business all over the world. I've sold horses and been interacted with people from anywhere from all over Europe, Israel, Japan, Australia, you name it.
Mr. International.
I guess so.
Let's start there. Let's start with what you're doing, and then we're going to go back to how you got here.
Yep. Excellent.
You're racing horses.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. We train reining horses for the sport of reining. It's kind of they call it the dressage part of the Western horse.
Yeah.
It's a sport that the American Cowboy founded. It's a direct derivative from the American Cowboy, how he herded the cows around, and they had to use their lasso, the rope, to catch the cow, and so the horses were ridden and trained to one-handed steering and so forth. And
there's all the movement.
Yeah, they took all great pride on their horse's willingness and their maneuverability, how the horse could travel and how fast the horse can stop, how the horse could turn, just in order to stay with the cattle they were trying to catch and doctor and take care of.
But do you do this without the cattle?
Yes. So then made it into sport. They started seeing how willing that horse would be and how willing they could steer that horse on a loose rein, one-handed, how fast they could run, how they could stop, and maneuverability, and made it into sport with a very, very high precision sport, so to speak.
So it's basically a judged sport.
It's a judged event, yes. Yep, it's a judged event.
And from what I hear, you're one of the best.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm pretty good, yes. I've been fortunate, and God blessed me with a lot of talent, and it's just what we do with it.
Yeah, but it's a sort of a sense of horses also.
Yes, for sure. Sense of the animal. I grew up with a lot of animals too, so I think you develop that from being around animals at a young age.
But let's go back there, because I know that you grew up on a farm, but that was a farm for cows. Yep. I grew up on a dairy farm in Gotland, Sweden, island in the Baltic Sea, you know. And my dad was a dairy farmer, so we had cows and horses for that matter. Yeah. My dad started out with a bunch of Swedish warm bloods, which is traditionally used for the jumping and dressage events. And my dad had been to Canada as a 17-year-old as an exchange student in a farming program. Oh, yeah?
And there was a farm there that had American quarter horses, and they were going to herd some cattle. I guess they're moving some cattle from pasture to pasture or something like that. So he had the opportunity to ride some American quarter horses, and they fell in love with the horses. Like, these horses are cool because they're very calm. They're very, very easy to work with. They're very smart. They're docile and
in my mind, it's like the sort of essence of a working horse.
Yes, I mean, that's why it's been the working horse, because they were very patient, they're very willing, they're very quiet, they're easy to work with, and they're very user-friendly, so to speak. So you can do a lot of tasks.
So your father went over to Canada.
He was in Canada.
Sat in the saddle. To ride the cattle.
Yes, yeah.
Like for real.
For real, yes. Yeah, on a working farm in Canada. Yeah, so then discovered, the American quarter horses, and I guess discovered a little Western way of life too, you know, the Western saddle. And I mean, they were cowboys.
There's a different side of, there's a different way of riding.
Those were they were true cowboys. They were using the horse
amazing.
As a tool. As a you know, in their craft, in how they made a living.
Yeah, and then you got the bug.
They had the bug, and this was the Western way of riding horses, and the sport event of horses was starting to migrate into Sweden back in the late '80s. mid 80s, late 80s, and for all of Europe was a big movement in the mid 80s. A lot of Americans or a lot of Europeans came over here to America to buy quarter horses, ship them over to Europe, and starting the sport over there and growing.
But at this time, you're still in Gotland.
I'm still in Gotland,
and you're learning these horses.
I'm going to school and I'm riding as much as I can. I have the bug for sure. I study tapes, VHS tapes. We see pictures in books. All that stuff just to get a taste of it.
Of course.
Get what it is to be, how it is at the elite level of reining horses.
And what was the next step for you in that?
Well, I was fortunate. In 1990, the World Equestrian Games was held in Stockholm. And so that's the FEI events. They have the show jumping, dressage, the 3-day events. They have all these events in one place, kind of like the Olympics for horses almost, right? Yeah. So they had the American quarter horse as a breed. They were going to have a demonstration there.
Oh, like a showcase.
Just showcase, correct. Showcase the breed, the American quarter horse, to the public there. So the heads of the president and vice president from the American Quarter Horse Association traveled to Sweden, and they brought a trainer from Germany, Lyle Jackson, that worked for John Ranches as a trainer in Europe there to put this together. And I was 16 at the time and got to be a part of that. So I got to know these guys. And then later on, I got an invitation from Lyle Jackson to come down to Germany to be at their horse ranch and work there, and that's what we were seeking, a place for me to go and learn. Yeah. So I sought that and asked and got the opportunity to come there. So in the fall of 1990, as a 16-year-old, I jumped on a plane and off to Frankfurt I went for that.
So they saw your talent real early.
Well, I don't know. They liked me enough to invite me over again. So I went the next summer, all summer vacation down there too, and got a lot of exposure to it, a lot of exposure to really good horses and what the business was all about, and the quality and what you have to do in order to do this stuff.
But now you're here.
Now I'm here. Yes.
Which is far away from Germany.
Yes.
So this must have been some sort of back and forth? Or?
Well, so they asked me, what's your future plans when you grow up or when you finish school? I said, I have no plans. I said...
as you do.
I didn't know. I mean, sure, that would be great if I could be a horse trainer, but I don't think that was possible in Sweden at the time. The sport wasn't big enough or anything like that. So that would have been the ultimate, right? I want to do what they did in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just asked them, and they said, well, anyways, we taught you everything we know. Now, for you to get experience, you need to go to America and work for a big breeder that breeds a lot of horses, have a lot of numbers.
Another step up.
Yeah, so you can just ride a lot and get a lot of experience.
Yeah.
And that sounded like a great idea, but now how do we get there? And it wasn't very long after that, Lyle called me and said, hey, I was to the States in April. I ran into Dean Latimer that worked for Bob Loomis. Bob Loomis was the king of the sport. He's won our marquee event, which is called the NRHA Reining Fraternity. The NRHA is the National Reining Horse Association. That's the biggest. That's the organization we show reining horses under. That's our head organization. Yeah.
But wait, stop with Bob Loomis a little bit.
Yes.
Who is Bob Loomis?
Bob Loomis was the king of the sport at the time. He had won that marquee event I was talking about 6 times, more than any other rider. Oh, yeah. So he was on the top of the world right here at this time.
And a big owner, a big ranch owner.
Big ranch in Marietta, Oklahoma. He had 600 acres over there. We had over 250 horses there. I mean, it was the big deal. It was the cream of the cream there. I mean, that was the big leagues. He had been over in America and talked to Dean. Dean said, Bob Loomis, he's always looking for some interns and stuff like that. If your guy is good, tell him to give phone number to Bob, call Bob, set it up, take care of it. Yeah. So, me... Backstory, I had bought his book. He wrote a book, The Art of the Performance in Horses.
So he was like that guy that you looked at.
And the book
I understand.
The book was Reining, The Art of Performance in Horses.
Okay, so
him on the cover. So I slept with that book on my nightstand from when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. Looked at those pictures. He had all these NRHA fraternity champions in these pictures in the book. I was like, this is that's the ultimate, right? That is the ultimate. So now I got an opportunity. I had to call Bob and set it up with him. So I call him, talk to him, and I was nervous calling him.
Personally?
2 a.m. in the night. I was up, calling Bob, set it all up, and he said, yeah, fly into Dallas. That time, I'll send somebody to pick you up in Dallas. It'll be somebody to pick you up in Dallas. Great. I booked a ticket. I was still in school in Sweden, in what we call in Sweden the gymnasiet.
High school,
more or less, studying economics there, and I took the last week off. I was so excited to get to the States. I booked a ticket the 27th of May.
You just left?
I just left. The 27th of May, I took a suitcase and $700, and I went to America. And landed in Dallas and started looking for somebody to pick me up. I guess I maybe looked like a horse kid when I come off the plane. A girl came up to me, introduced herself. Hey, hi, I'm Cindy. I'm from Bob Loomis Quarter Horses. I'm here to pick you up. I think you're Fredrik.
Yeah.
I said, that's me. Got in the truck and back to Marietta, Oklahoma we went.
So that's
the start. Yes.
Wow.
So then I'd been there for about 30 days, and Bob came up to me and said, hey, what's your future plans? I said, don't really know any future plans. Well, hey, I need a kid like you. Why don't you just stay here and work for me? I said, yep, I'm in. If we can get it all situated, taken care of, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
So
but this is
1993. And this is like, I had never dreamt that I was going to work for Bob Loomis. I bought the book, right?
Yeah, I can imagine. You have the book. From the book.
Yeah. To now here, we're 2 years.
At night.
Yep. 2 years later, I got my first job in life. Was working for Bob Loomis in Marietta, Oklahoma, training reining horses at the highest level you can. I mean, I didn't train later.
And from there, you never went back, really?
I never went back. I stayed working for Bob for over 6 years. And unbelievable to work for.
Yeah.
Learned so much about the business. Of course, we were on the top of the world at that point in time. Topsail Whiz, which he said, I need you to start training this first full crop of the Topsail Whizzes. They're 2-year-olds next year. I want you to work with them. And then, say 10 years into that venture, Topsail Whiz was the #1 reining horse sire of the world, meaning all his offspring had at that time, I think, reached win over $12 million in reining horse competition.
And you started working with that?
That was the first full crop I started, were those horses, yes.
All right.
Yeah. So, now it's a great start. I was, I couldn't ask for anything better there. And Bob was super to work for, funny guy, learned a lot, he did a lot of international business. People from all over the world came to that ranch all the time just to visit, to tourists, to buy horses, and yeah, that was a great experience.
And how do you, if you transfer from that to where you are now, because now you got your own ranch.
Yes.
You got your own horses.
Yes,
and you
correct.
got your own students. I've seen them outside
yes,
here.
Yep.
So now you're...
Yes, so when
are you writing your book?
Yeah. We got some books started. We've done something
really?
in Swedish on how to train reining horses. Yeah, with a Swedish author, actually.
Because I see a kid in the future having a Fred book.
Yeah, maybe that'd be cool for sure. So yeah.
But what is from that extraordinary start in life? Like it's almost like the expression "hit the ground running."
Yes,
and
correct.
you just got thrown into that.
Yes.
Started immediately.
Yeah, I realized that this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Yeah. I could have dreamt of any other opportunity. So I worked day and night. 5 o'clock in the morning, 7, 8 at night, just rode horses, took it in as much as I could, just immersed myself in it. I mean, I had done that already, but you study pedigrees of horses, you study horses, you study other trainers, you study what's going on, you learn in the ropes as much as you can.
And how does life from there to today, how does your everyday life look today?
Not a whole lot different day to
really?
day. I mean, so I wake up in the morning, we go to the barn, and we start riding horses. Train. I have around.
But now you're more like a senior.
Sure. We have 50 horses in training here that we train at all times. So I'm in charge of 50 head of horses in training and 4 assistants to help me train these horses. So I manage the whole program. I mean, I ride my string of horses my future competition horses that I'm going to go compete with.
Are you also competing on the arena? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So and that's what we train for. We train to compete. We train to go win. That's what we do. And
because the victory gives the sort of breeding.
It gives value to the horse. You better horse, and so my clients are from all over the world and they own the horses. I train the horse for them. We go to travel to competition and compete for money. We're successful horses or great quality horses or very talented horses. They're, we sell them and we start over again and start with a new horse, and there's a lot of trade. That's a lot of buying and selling horses involved in this too. We take a young prospect, we breed them, we raise them, we foal them out in our pastures. You've seen out here, we have foals out here, we have 1-year-old horses, 2-year-old horses, and then we start training them as 2-year-olds, and we train them up, and we have this raw material, their talent, and then it's just how we refine that talent and what we do with it. And then of course some of the horses' pedigree, which is their parents, very successful parents, make a more valuable horse. And then when we refine that talent and we make them trained very good, they increases their value. And
what do you look for when you see a young horse?
Well, we see
if you take aside the pedigree, or because I understand that's the intro selection.
Yes,
you look at the pedigree.
Yep.
This could be a good horse.
Yeah, successful parents.
But it's not a guarantee.
Not a guarantee.
No. But what do you look for that young horse?
We look for, we try to breed for horses that are very, very kind. Gentle horses, the kind that's going to be easy to train. No. They want to give it to you. These animals are unbelievable. They're so kind to us. They weigh 10 times as much as we do. Yeah. And they are just kind and say, hey, we'll be there for you. And they'll be there in a happy way. They're just happy to be with us, do the work for us. Sure, we take care of them better than we take care of ourselves. We have all the best care from the best food, the best horse dentist, the best equine farriers to put shoes on them. All the elite guys in the world take care of these. They live like kings.
A horse dentist is something that you don't really think exists when you're not in the horse business.
Yeah, very important. Very important.
But is there certain movements that you look?
Sure,
that he goes natural that way. He moves
the way you study any athlete. I imagine if you're gonna scout a hockey player, it's his skating. It's flawless.
Yeah,
that guy can really move. He can skate. He's effortless in his skating. His stick handling, how he handling the stick, is effortless. So we look for those horses too when they move out there.
Yeah.
Do the lope smooth lopers? They carry themselves in a certain way. They just look athletic. That horse is gonna be athletic because the way he just moves over there in the pasture. We're not looking at the yearlings in the pasture. The way he just loped across there, how he moves, he just looks athletic. And then he stops. How he uses his body when he stops and turns. You're gonna that thing's gonna be athletic.
Like a ground, like a foundation to look at, or and then you say, well, I can teach him.
And then that
teach
thing.
him the details.
He looks very, very athletic. Now we just gotta, if he's kind enough, and he will be trained easily and be kind, which most of them are. We ride very, very good horses anymore. I've been here through 3, 4, 5, 6 generations of horses now.
Yeah.
Now we take these champions and we breed it to another champion to create another champion, and we get another champion. So they're bred very specific for the sport of reining and their talent level,
Have you changed your goals during this?
Yes, the goals get tweaked all the time.
But your goal, your life goal, I want to be a horse trainer.
Yes.
If I can do that. And now you're a very good horse trainer, to say the least.
Yes.
Yeah. And do you change that goals?
Yeah.
Do you find other goals that you're looking for?
Well,
what could that be?
You just got to raise the standard all the time. The standard of excellence, the level that you perform at. When I first came...
I'm thinking maybe if you increase your challenge. That's a difficult horse.
Well, so this is all a challenge anyways. These horses have a way to keep you humble. This is not easy. This is always...
No.
This is always challenging. It doesn't matter how much you want or anything. Everybody will tell you it's always challenging.
Yeah, of course.
You have to figure out how that horse is think. What is he thinking? Yeah. What does he do? How can I guide him to perform even a little bit better? How can I improve what I do to him and how I ask him or how I reward him, or all the time? And how can we improve our equipment we're riding? How can we get better saddles? Now I've been working together with a saddle maker. Now the new saddle that he's come up with, it's a saddle tree, a saddle frame of carbon fiber. So it's very light. So it's titanium material screws in this saddle and stuff. So this saddle, the horse's performance can increase because he's more comfortable carrying this saddle and carry my weight, maybe lower in the center and stuff like that. There's always things to tweak.
Because that's
work
what
on
I
all
heard.
The time.
I heard that between everything that you said, that when you get more senior in something, your goals when you're young. This is my take on it. When you're young, you have this wide goal.
Yes.
And when you reach them, they're never really what you expected them to be. They're always different. But you get in certain levels in your life.
Yeah.
But the older you get, or the more senior you get, in my experience, your goals get tinier.
Yes, yeah, sure.
I want to tweak that.
Yes,
like you said, the saddle. Maybe I can do something with that. That would be perfect too.
Yeah. No, it's always like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I came to America, if I could be a horse trainer, that would be great, right? And I don't know if he even had that as a goal yet. And boom, said, I want you to stay and train horses for me. Yeah. Boom. Now we're just kind of like...
All right.
Just when I just jumped over anything. I couldn't even... Sitting on Gotland, a tiny island in the Baltic. I'm not talking... It's 100 miles long.
Yeah.
And 55
and
miles.
And it's not famous for its,
reining-horse trainers.
Horses, no.
Yeah, no, not
it's
exactly.
It's famous for a lot of things, but not that.
Yes. So, I had never even imagined, I couldn't have dreamt that I was going to move to America and work for Bob Loomis, the king of the reining-horse
sport.
The
guy on the night side too, bedside
exactly.
Job.
So,
how's life? Is there even possible for you to sort of pinpoint the difference?
How do you mean the difference
of Sweden, living in Sweden with horses, with that life that you're having, and living here with the life that you're having now? I know that it would be impossible to have this sort of career or this business that you're having in Sweden because the industry doesn't exist. But
it does exist in a way smaller sense. So Texas and Oklahoma there is the center, the mecca of the reining horse sport of the world. The whole world is coming here for knowledge, coming here to shop for their horses. I've sold horses to Israel. There was a potato farmer from Israel. We bought a few horses from him, and when I sold them to Israel, I gave him a pet on the way to the airport. The horse, see you later. I might probably never see you again. Yeah. Boom. We go to Aachen, Germany for the World Equestrian Games in 2006. Swedish team. I fly over to Europe. The Israeli team is down there. The horse that I raced, there she is. You got flown in from Israel for the competition, so I got to see her again.
Oh, wow.
Right? So we're
like your horse?
Yeah, I raced.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. I raced her. I was out of my broodmare, and I raced her, and then we trained her, and then an Israeli agent came and asked, what do you have for sale? He brought an Israeli group of people to the ranch. We showed him the horses. One guy, he was a potato farmer. He said it rained a lot in Germany that year, so I will sell a lot of potatoes to Germany, so I need to spend some money on some horses. What do you have? So we ended up selling. So this is the epicenter. Yeah. This town, for sure. Pilot Point here where you're at. There's so many horse ranches. I couldn't tell you how many horses.
I've passed a few on the way up here. So I see horses everywhere.
We're in the heart of this deal, so the whole world comes.
And south of Dallas, on my way up, because I came up here from Houston, up here, that's cattle.
Yes,
south of Dallas is a lot of cattle, and when you pass Dallas, it shifts to horses.
Yes.
And it's notable.
Yes, very notable.
Yeah. This leads me into a final thing, and I'm not sure that I can do this with you because somewhere in your eyes, I can see what you're going to. But I still want to do it. We're here. Dallas is actually on the map that's on the table. You've seen the map.
Yeah.
And you're from Gotland, which is
correct.
outside here.
Yep.
Where is home?
I don't know. I guess I have two homes. I'm from Gotland. I'm proud to be from Gotland.
So you're always from Gotland.
I'm from Gotland. I'm from Sweden. I'm proud to be Swedish. I think Sweden is a beautiful country. We're talking about the Olympics and hockey. I'm a huge hockey fan. Yeah. I played hockey growing up in Sweden. I'm all Swedish there for sure.
So it could have been hockey instead.
Could have been hockey. Yeah, could have. You never known.
But if you have to choose?
Well, I don't know. I love it here. I live a fantastic life.
Well, I'm going to
here.
force you to choose because I want you to write your name.
Yeah, we're going to write it in Pilot Point for sure. So I had, we bought this facility. I owned this facility together with Per Spångfors of Halmstad, Sweden. He reached out to me in 2004 and wanted to get involved in the reining horse business. Yeah. He had seen me have success in America over the internet, maybe some articles and stuff like that. And so he reached out to me, I'm going to get into reining horses. How can we do this? So he bought horses from me in 2004 that I kept in America in training, and I didn't meet him till 2006 for the first time. No. I traveled to Halmstad and actually visited him. And then in 2015, I was buying this facility here and putting that together. So in somewhere in 16, I was riding out here and we're building. And I remember what horse I rode. I had a great daughter of Smart Chicolina, that one of my longtime clients, still clients with me today, that they were owning. I just finished her. I was riding in an outdoor arena we built, and I was walking up to the barn, and I was like, because I had been in Marietta, Oklahoma first, then I lived in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, back to down here.
You've been following the work in a way, the ranches and the work.
Back down to Texas and Pilot Point now. So I didn't really have a home yet, but I remember walking that mare back, and I was thinking, this is home. I like it here. This feeling touched me, and it says, this is my home. I'm home here. Here's where I'm gonna be. We're gonna stay here. So, heck yeah.
That was the answer.
That was the answer. Yes.
And the final thing, if you were to write a letter from here to Gotland.
Yep. Who do we send a letter to?
Who do you want to send it to?
I don't know. I have a large family there. I have, my parents. My parents have supported me a lot through sports. I did.
Send it to your parents.
I'm gonna send it to my parents and all of my extended family. We have big cousins. We had farmers all around. I think we were 14 cousins living around there. So I'll send a letter to them and just say, that I had a great time growing up with all those guys, and a great time doing all the stuff we did. And we keep in contact a lot. I call my cousins often, and every summer I'm home in Sweden. We all got together, all the cousins again, and hang out and have a good time. And it's sure, I've been over here for over 30 years now, but it's like we catch on like we'd never missed a beat. Like,
that's wonderful.
So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's when you share a history together.
Yes,
you sort of reconnect it.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah, it is. It doesn't take 2 seconds, and everybody hugs everybody, and then we're just like it was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
it's great. So I write a letter to all them and just tell them I appreciate everybody, and I sure enjoy them every time I get to spend with them.
Sure. Okay, it's been absolutely lovely meeting you.
Excellent.
And I really love this place.
Yeah.
Your ranch is just wonderful. It has a wonderful energy to it. And, I'm not sure I'm going to leave.
Yeah, so. There you go. Just stay and hang out. And we're glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have listened to Letters from America, a weekly road trip podcast celebrating the Swedish heritage in the United States. Produced in collaboration with the Embassy of Sweden in Washington, D.C., Volvo Cars USA, Volvo Trucks USA, and Airstream.